just doesn't get enough on it. Throws it up in the air, and there once again is a Buffalo Bill. Ingram made a great play.
Hausers, martes 23 de septiembre de 2025. Nos da mucho gusto presentarles este programa, esta colaboración. Por primera vez en la historia, un grupo de fans de los Bills de Buffalo va a tener en su espacio a un jugador del roster. Estamos súper emocionados y voy a introducir aquí a mi buen amigo y compadre Marty, quien me va a estar acompañando para esta entrevista. Amigo, bienvenido.
Gracias. Más emocionado no podía estar. Es un sueño hecho de realidad para mí. Yo creo es un sueño hecho de realidad para Bills House MX y todos los fans de los Bills en México, ¿no?
Así es, así. Estamos un poquito nerviosos, entonces por favor denos su beneficio de la duda. A partir de ahora vamos a cambiar a inglés para Yamarcus, para hacerlo sentir más cómodo, y la entrevista la vamos a hacer en inglés, pero van a poder tener los subtítulos, ¿vale? So, without further ado, we're welcome Jamarcus Ingram, defensive back from the Buffalo Bills.
Woo!
What's going on?
Hey, Jamarcus, we're so honored to have you with us at Bills House Live. I don't know if you know this, but we're actually making some history together because any Buffalo Bills fan site has never had a talk with a Buffalo Bills roster member. So we're making history. We're so glad that we can have you and feel welcome with us.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for having me. And I'm glad we making history, and it's gonna be a good time. So I'm just grateful to be here, grateful for this opportunity, and I just thank y'all for having me.
So all thanks to you, my man. And we want to get the most out of this time with you. We know you are in your day off. You're preparing for the Saints on this Sunday. So I'm going to travel just a couple of weeks ago when we had the opportunity to know some of the culture around the Buffalo Bills. And during the Hard Knocks production of HBO. And we have a very interesting case with you. We really have the opportunity to know more about you, but in the personal way. We know every single athlete has the opportunity to perform. And in that program, we just knew about your personal project of The Little Player That Could, which is a book you write it. And could you please tell us how all this project came all together? How do you visualize it, please?
Yeah, man. So I would say that's like it's kind of like my baby. It's like the first one, my first book. And it's about my story, my life, and the journey I've been on, to get to this point where I'm at now. And the vision behind it was, to give readers any ages, but primarily kids, because that's when I was inspired to play football. I just wanted to get them motivation, hope, and inspiration to chase whatever dream they got in life, And so I wanted to create that book in a special way, and just make it meaningful, so that when kids read it, or even adults, they can relate to it, and just use my story as a beacon of light, so that others can, have some hope and chase whatever it is that they want in life, and that's just kind of the meaning behind it. And I had some help from one of my teammates His name is Brandon Bryant. He was with me my rookie year and my second year, and also my high school coach John Woodruff. Um, they were kind of like the back burners of just to uh let me know like, hey, you need to write a book, like you should try it. And Brandon Bryan, he actually has a book called So You Want to Be an Athlete, and that was like a eye opener for me, to put something in a form where it's simple. I ain't gotta overcomplicate it because I done been through a lot. And so uh I was thinking I had to write like this chapter book, and like a autobiography or something, just but I think the kids book brought out my creativity, and I was able to make it simple, and put some rhymes in there, just have fun with it, and just share my story in a short format, and like things like we doing now, just talking about it, and being able to, share my story. I think was the vision behind it, and I was able to bring it into fruition, and so here we are now.
That's
Wow.
cool, man. Marty, go ahead.
Now you said it was your first book, so could there be more in the pipeline at some time in the future too? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm working on two more right now. Working on two more right now, and so one is for my son and one is for my daughter. So just working on
So
those
nice.
two.
Wow,
So
that's great. Well, also
Okay.
you mentioned it was kind of tied in on the Hard Knock show. Also, kind of the mental preparation side
mhm.
of your training. But can you maybe also did that also play a role in how you kind of prepared yourself? Writing the book and making it a reality, because it's not just getting the ideas on paper. It's like having the confidence in yourself to be able to do it, right?
Yeah, not I would add that I definitely had to, switch my mentality because writing and reading English, all of that, like coming up in school was like one of my least favorite subjects, and so to be at this point where I am now, and uh I had to lean on, Coach Woodruff and Brandon, because I needed that encouragement, to put my story on paper, because I didn't really think, I knew people cared about me, I knew people cared about my story and just what I've been through, but sometimes I'll be feeling like, man, don't nobody want to really hear what I got, to say. Sometimes I just be like, in a shell. But a lot of people, gravitated to it, and it was something that I did have to overcome, just being confident in my journey, my story, and what God has placed me here to do. And so I just um took it literally week to week, like day to day, like writing down stuff, deleting, uh like just like writing it down, throwing it away, coming back to the table, like I had it took me almost like 7 months to get it done. So it was a
Wow.
process uh to write at least, and then it took a couple more months, during the year, to get it published and all of that, get the illustrations done, and then, you know, um, man, I was able to have a phenomenal season last year, stepping up, in my role, and I wanted to lay out the book, while I was, having some success on the field, so that it would touch more people and inspire people while the light was on me.
Yeah, I would know, and actually, that was my question, because I think all this mental process that you have to do to clear your mind, to write the specific words in the right order, has also helped you in your mental preparation during the week, right? We saw it also in HBO how you go through this preparation with a therapist, right? So can you tell us how this began? How do you find this way to mentally approach
Mhm.
correctly to the game?
Yeah, I would say this all started back in like 2020. It was 2 years after my father had passed, and I was just trying to find ways to help myself, being far away from home, 1,000 miles away from home, and just trying to, find ways to be better, and stay in the right headspace. And so that's when I started like visualization, meditation, reading books, like Relentless by Tim Grover, The Alchemist. It's a bunch of books, but I was just like, looking into different ways to keep myself in the right mind space. And so once I made it to the league, that was the difference, and like walking in the room full of guys who like believe in themselves, like no other, and just knowing that they the best, and just paying attention to all the guys who had success and who had longevity in their careers, and the uh mental endurance that they had, to show up every day, be present, the length of an NFL season, just being consistent, because that's the mark of greatness, consistency. And so just seeing all of those things, it made me, tap into another side of me as well, to do things like, having Dr. Des, who was our sports psychologist, with the Bills, and watching other guys, with their mental routine and stuff like that. Trent Sherfield, who was here my second year, just watching him, and he would circle the field like after practice, and that was something that I added to my routine as well. But I always talk with Dr. Dez, and because I always been big and like my mental preparation and stuff like that. And so every year we just add something different, and try to, put a plan together, for like daily goals, weekly goals. And they all about the process, like my goals. They're not outcome based. It's all about the process. And so um that's kind of like a quick summary of it. But we we take it up a notch every year, just trying to be better, and that's one of the things that I tell myself every day. I will be better today than I was yesterday, and I will be better tomorrow than I was today. And so every year, every day, we're just trying to be better, and using the resources that I have. They all are great, tools for me to be my best self and showing up, for to be the best in the world at what I do.
And I think Mark can agree with me, and every Bills Mafia can agree that you are doing exactly this, because this was a topic that we talked with about Marty, because we all remember your last year you're playing at Miami, and you have a wonderful and incredible game with a pick six, two picks in the game. But actually, 2 years later, 2 years before that, and Marty was very, very specific to want to talk about this.
I
Marty,
remember.
go ahead and do it, please.
Yeah, and I know you remember it, Jamarcus, and I know that Bills Mafia will remember that game, the Heat game, the famous 100-degree sun game.
Yeah.
And there was a rash of injuries. I think week 1 was the week Micah went out, and then Jordan went out week 2. And I think Dane Jackson was out for the game. So the secondary, was in rough shape, and you had to step up. And it's like, whoa, you got thrown right to the fire, 100-degree heat, Florida. And then, by the way, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle waiting for you on the other side. So we would love to hear like what your memories are about that game, and just anything you could tell us from an insider point of view would be amazing.
Man, that was crazy. That was crazy that y'all remember that, because last week I was actually just talking to one of our teammates about it, and I was like, bro, like, because like when the Miami game come up, last year I had a crazy game, so everybody be talking about it in the field. And so but I was telling one of the other guys, I'm like, bro, like Miami always good to me, just because that was my first NFL game, everybody was going down, and the little backstory and insight on it, guys were down, and it was my time to step up. And all week the coaches have been letting me know, like, hey, like, this your opportunity, like, we not going outside the building, we staying right here, like, we believe in you, we got confidence in you, and so you're gonna have your opportunity to play this week. And so we getting ready for the game, and I'm learning, I'm on practice squad. I'm not like, I'm not trying to psych myself out too much, because I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous. But I'm also preparing like I'm a starter. And so as we get closer to the game, they kind of let me know like, hey, like you just gonna be on special teams, and I'm like, all right, cool, like, but in my mind, I'm still telling myself like, hey, like, like whatever happens, like we gonna be ready to go, like we gonna be ready, like for whatever opportunity we get, we gonna be ready. And so that's just what I'm telling myself and playing that in my head. And so we get in the game, and I run down on kickoff. I run down on kickoff return as well. So it was kind of like maybe like 3 or 4 special teams plays that I get. And the last special teams play that I get was kickoff return. And so I'm about to go take the field for kickoff return, and Micah, he came up to me. He was like, "Hey, J Mark," like he was like, "You gonna be up next series? Like make sure you ready." And I'm like, "What you mean? Like, like what you mean I'm gonna be up?" Like he was like, "You gonna be up next series?" And so as he's saying that, I'm running on the field getting ready for kickoff return, like to make a block and stuff like that. So the offense can get the ball, and it just happened so quick, and I'm like, oh shit, like I'm really in the NFL game. Like, like in the first play of the game, we called a cover 3, and it was a pressure off the edge, and I was the one blitzing. And I'm like, oh shit, like I can remember standing on the field, like, looking up at the crowd and looking around. It kind of felt like I was like in like a matrix or something. It was just like everything was like moving real slow, and I'm like, damn, like I'm really playing in an NFL game. It was just like a surreal feeling. Like, and I just felt so grateful to be in that moment. And then it was like snap, and then like I'm blitzing off the edge, and then like it was just crazy. And so man, Miami has always been like a highlight for me, at least in my career so far, and just being able to start my NFL career off with my first game. I still got the jersey and everything, from that game, my rookie year, and then last year, having a breakout game that week, with the 2 picks, and the 2 symbolizing a lot for me in my life and stuff like that. It was just, a great thing to be a part of. This is just always great to be a part of this team, and what we do, and how special it is. So
And actually, for fans, I think that kind of stories is like make us love football, right? Because for everyone who had the chance to practice it, you have to improve every single day, and to get mentally focused in what you're really trying to accomplish, right? So how would you tell this journey from being an undrafted free agent, getting to the Bills practice squad, then you go out and you're then facing Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle in the weather of Miami, and two or 3 years later, you're almost 53 roster spot lock. Nobody is arguing. You're now a part of the Bills. How do you think this journey has helped you? The being in a franchise like the Bills, when they're encourage their team to be like very close to share stories. You also say you got help from people from inside of the organization. So how important is this franchise has been in this journey for you?
oh man, it's been super important. And I would say I haven't been nowhere else, so I can only speak from this perspective, and like other guys who come from other teams and stuff like that. And I can just say this place is special, just from everyone in the building, like whether like it's a janitor, the people in the cafeteria, reporters, like community relations, everybody. It's like it all feels like family. And so every day for me, it's exciting to go to work, and just being around people who like don't treat you like a number. We actually, they value what we do outside of ball. Like they value like who we are as a human being, and not just what we do, and it's not necessarily transactional, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I value, you know, the people, the love, the support, you know, to be able to like be myself, you know, and have my teammates, you know, like my teammates, like we hang out, like we go eat food, like we, you know, we spend time with each other, and we not just playing ball. Like it's like a real life brotherhood and family for real. So I'm always appreciative of Buffalo, even outside of I would say the facility, like just the community in general. Like it's like I could go in Walmart and like see people, when people notice me, and it's just like, you know, it's like kind of like having like a friendly conversation. Uh it's not like I'm holier than thou or anything like that. Like, you know, like I would say, like maybe in other cities or things like that, it's kind of like they put you on a pedestal and like idolize you, and like it, I don't know, but just Buffalo, it feels different. Like it feels more like a connection, you know, when you meet people. Like even this interview, for example, like it's like, you know, like all around, and it's not just Buffalo, it's just kind of like the mafia, you know, like it's just like we all kind of feel like, you know, we together, you know, in a sense.
We're
It's,
in this together, no
yeah,
matter what.
Oh, yeah.
so it's special. I mean that, but those are my words for it. Like, you know, it's just special. It's a special organization and a special place to be. And I'm grateful for it every day. So
And we are grateful to have you in the roster, because we were talking about Marty and I, and some guys you just can't see him with another uniform, no matter if he's a certain position or there are some of the 53 in the roster that you just can't picture. But I think one of those is Jordan Phillips, right? We just know he has to be in Buffalo, and
yeah,
actually I think he knows it right now.
yeah,
So that's very cool. And we love how you represent the franchise, and also the mafia, because I think some fan bases sometimes take all the players for granted. I think we the Blitz Mafia, we definitely don't do, and we enjoy how you, some of you, because it's almost everyone can represent that. So we're very grateful. And Marty, also you have some questions about the organization football that we kind of write down, so we can talk to J Mark.
Well, yeah, definitely. Just keeping it on Buffalo for a second, I was reading some old interviews. I think it was maybe someone that recruited you to go to Campbell, maybe, but then he went to UB, and I think
yep.
maybe he was the one that convinced you to commit there for your last year, which is
Mhm.
incredible because in your mindset you thought, okay, my last year of college ball, you know, I'll go to Buffalo for a year, and now here it's 5 years later, and you're still in Buffalo. So it would be cool to hear a little bit about that too. You know.
Yeah, man. So that was crazy. And that was Coach Dre, and DeAndre Thompson. And so he was at Campbell, and I was in my transition from leaving Texas Tech. Uh, and I wanted that, like my last 2 years at Tech, you know, it showed me a different side of the game, you know, going through injuries and not playing as much. And, you know, for my last year, I didn't want to go through that no more. It was kind of like a shit show. And I was like, bro, like whatever it is, bro, like I need to be somewhere like where I can make it to the league, you know, because that was my ultimate goal, you know, with playing the game and just trying to get to the next level. And so I put my name in the portal, and I was at home for like 6 months, just waiting for graduation as I graduated from Tech. And earlier in the process, you know, I think it was around like February, maybe. Uh, January or February, DeAndre he hit me up and was like, you know, talking to me about Campbell, and you know, like letting me know that I had an offer and everything. And you know, me just being me, I didn't really like sugarcoat it or nothing like that. I was honest with him, transparent, like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying, I like the school, I love it. But I'm keeping my options open, you know. I don't want to like, you know, commit too fast, too soon or nothing like that. And so fast forward, I was actually committed to Central Arkansas. And so I was in New Orleans, you know, I was in New Orleans celebrating from my graduation because I had just got my master's. And um he called me while I was on the road back, like back to Dallas. Um, no, it was on the way to New Orleans for that, and he called me, and he was like, "Man, I got good news and I got some bad news." Uh, he was like, "The bad news, I ain't there to see your face, to tell you. Uh, but the good news is you got an offer, from the University of Buffalo." And I'm like, damn, like, I didn't know nothing about Buffalo. I didn't know what Buffalo was. I didn't know where Buffalo existed, nothing about it. And so um, that was like, it was like a blessing in disguise almost, because well, not even almost, but it was a blessing in disguise because from that moment I had looked into Buffalo, looked up the culture, seen it. It was a winning program with Coach Lipo. And obviously, we had Coach Mo that came in, but it was right what I needed. I wanted to be back around the culture of guys like I was at Utah State. Guys that really didn't have much, and come from, the background of like working, just the workers mentality, like blue collar, that's what I could sense, from just on the outside looking in at what they had built, and the culture. And so I was like, okay, like I'm gonna just take a chance, and that's been my thing, like just taking a leap of faith. And so I called him back. I decommitted from Central Arkansas, called him back and was like, hey, like I'm coming to Buffalo, like, and it don't matter what it look like, it don't matter what it is. I'm finna come to Buffalo, and like I said, I've been in Buffalo, and I ain't never left. Like so, I that.
And we hope
Love
you
it.
can have you more time with us. And
that-
actually, that's very interesting because suddenly then there was like a lot of time that the Bills did not have any University of Buffalo player in their roster. Now there are, I think, three: you, Cam Lewis, and Joe Andreessen, if
yeah.
I'm not wrong. So that's very cool, and you have just say it with words. How the process it's important, how the culture is important. So now we would like to talk about how's your week preparation during the games. For example, we know that on Tuesdays you have your day offs. Usually on Mondays they give you the game plan, the preparation. So in the moment you get the game plan in your hands, which is your first approach? Are you looking for coverages, or are you looking for certain plays, or
Mm.
what's the main thing you look at when you open the playbook?
The first thing is I'm just watching.
Okay.
Like that's the first thing I do. Uh I turn the tape on and I just watch. Just try to catch any nuggets. From what I see, like today I watched like 2 or 3 games. And just to watch, just pick up tendencies. And then later today, the coaches they gonna send me. They send us like breakdown, scout report, and stuff like that. And so, then I check all of the notes, that the coaches have from the breakdown and stuff like that to see if it matched, anything that I maybe saw, and so that kind of give me a fresh start on Wednesday, because tomorrow they're gonna come in and they're gonna introduce the same things uh that they sent out to us, on the iPads, and it'll be like first, second down, the run game and the pass game, how they like to, open up. And so then tomorrow, I'll watch like the third downs. Once we practice, go through the walkthrough, I got go through practice. We have like we picked up the first and second down tendencies, and then tomorrow night, as I'm going home, I review practice, um, and then I look into the third downs, red zone and stuff like that. And then Thursday when we come in, uh, it's more of the same, what I had looked at the night before. See if it matches up, with what the coaches break down for red zone, third down, and all of that. And then Friday is more of like a refresher, of all of the things, is watching the game and seeing how the game is being called. Uh, just paying attention, because uh, in a way you want to think like the defensive coordinator, who's calling the play, so that you can understand how the offense is trying to attack you and understand the position that they're putting us in, and why we're calling what we're trying to call to stop them. And so and I also look at other things like, studying receivers, studying, how they getting on the ball, uh, the quarterback, his drop, who he likes to get the ball to on certain situations, and stuff like that. Um, and then by Saturday is like my creative day. So I try not to overthink, and I always do something creative. And so Saturdays, or depending on what day, like last week we had a Thursday game, so Wednesday was my creative day. Like I make it like the day before the game so that I'm free flowing and not, overthinking and stuff like that. And so I take a quick peek at the film, maybe like a short cut up or something like that, kind of refresh my memory. And then we also go through that in the building. And then by Sunday, I might take a quick peek on it, and then from there it's like, all right, I'm flying around playing fast, and we having fun. I try not to overcomplicate it. When I was younger, I used to like really overthink it like the day before the game. So that's something that I've matured into and grown into, and also using Dr. Dez to help me through that process of like, just be free flowing, let it go. I put in a lot of work throughout the week, and so my preparation leads to great performances on Sunday. And so that's pretty much how a week goes for me.
Man, that's incredible, super detailed. We love that kind of response, because it's what we always talking about. Well, man, how do you think this is approach, or how do you think they prepare for this? So it's really insightful from your part. And also, we have another question between about the tendencies and how does it works. And usually the Bills are known for playing like cover two, or not very personal, but some tendencies have changed since Bobby Babich took the defensive coach assist position. So how could you tell us this? It was really a change, because sometimes we look tape, but we are not that specialist. But
Yeah.
it was really a change, or just not too much, or it was too much. What can you tell us?
Yeah, man, it was a change. Bobby be dialing it up. I will say he is aggressive. And we don't like to sit back and wait. That's kind of the same philosophy that Coach McDermott had when he was at DC. Just being aggressive and attacking. Being on attack mode and not waiting. And so I would say it's definitely different, and the mentality is to attack. And we always gonna go down swinging. Whatever it is, we're gonna attack and not be on our heels and waiting for them to throw a punch at us. So
Okay,
I love it.
love it.
And we've
Yeah.
noticed.
We have noticed, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Marty, you had prepared a couple of questions, a few fire questions. Do you
Oh
mind to
yeah, a
taking this
couple
one?
fun
Yes.
questions, off the
okay,
field questions, just to have some fun before we close out, because I think we're over time now. But okay, the first one. Now this is interesting. We know you grew up in Texas, so it's possible. But we wanted to ask you if you have any Spanish in your repertoire, any words, any phrases, or are you still maybe a beginner?
I got a few because I actually went to Mexico in 2024. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Okay.
Mucho grande. Uh, uh, Dang. Well, I think that's a little bit. It's a little
Hey,
bit. It's a
we're
little
not
bit.
the only
Yeah.
ones nervous in front
A
of the
little bit.
camera. You got a little
That's a
nervous
little
there
bit.
too.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to freshen it up, sharpen it up just a little bit before I make it down. But I got a little bit. I tried to learn as much as I could while I was in Mexico.
Well, that's great. I hope
Nice.
you'll be back to Mexico many times again. We love it and hope you do too.
Most
Um,
definitely.
okay, second rapid fire question. Now, as you know, in Buffalo, we are very specific about our chicken wings. Absolutely no ranch under any circumstance. But we wanted to change it up about Mexican food. Now, if you were at the taco bar, we wanted to ask you, what were you like? I have to have that on my taco. There's no way, I can miss it. And what are you like? No, bro, I'm good.
First, I'm gonna do the no-goes first. Cheese. I'm not putting no cheese on my tacos. Like I
Okay,
absolutely
good to
hate
know.
cheese. No sour cream, but like I keep mine simple. Like I just like whatever the source of protein is, chicken, beef, whatever that is. some salsa. I gotta have like some salsa verde or like a or like a red sauce or and then I gotta have onion, cilantro, or lettuce or something like that.
Okay.
Mine's real simple, so that's something I gotta have. But I really like the burrito tacos.
Oh, the
Okay.
Awesome, like,
birria.
really
Ooh,
different. Yeah,
that's a birria.
I really like those.
Ooh, those are my favorite too.
Nice.
Okay, and last question, last but not least. Okay, let's all dream now that the Bills finally get the big one in February. You're in the locker room and you get one victory drink, So on the left side, we have some ice cold cerveza, and on the right side, we have some top shelf, whatever you can imagine, a shot of buen tequila de Mexico. Which one are you going for?
What was the first one? Is the first one a tequila?
The first
Una
one is
cerveza,
beer.
una
Beer.
cerveza. Hey, you gotta learn that one. A nice cold
I
beer.
It's a
learned that one.
beer.
Nice cold Mexican beer, una cerveza or un shot de tequila.
I'm going tequila. I'm going tequila. I'm going tequila. Tequila.
We expect that happen in February, and we will be dreaming about
Tell you,
it.
somebody when I come down, we gotta find somebody who can give me that shot. Because once we get there, I'm telling you, I'm gonna need a whole bottle. Because I'm gonna be on the podium going crazy.
Yeah, we will all be crazy and maybe drink things that we don't even imagine right now. So
Yeah.
we're confident that this season we have a real good opportunity and will be like incredible for all that's happening with the Bills Mafia. And before we go, we want to talk about your experience that you will be having here in Mexico, because many of our followers don't know it yet, but Jamarcus is going to be in Mexico
difficulties at
City.
the end.
But the experience we're going to have with Jamarcus is going to give a defensive back clinic or camp in Mexico City, in near the region of Satélite, Lomas Verdes. Is going to be the Cowboys in their field. It's going to happen on October 17, 17 de octubre, en la zona de Lomas Verdes, para todos los chicos que quieran especializarse en temas de defensive back. For all of you followers and not followers, but who like every one of you who likes football, Jamarcus is going to be giving his defensive back clinic along with some Mexican defensive backs, as Luis Jaramillo, who is a professional football player in Mexico. So we're gonna put leave the down in the description of the show the link where you can register now. You can do it now because it's gonna be for October 17th, and we're also having a meet and greet with Jamarc. It's gonna be on October 18th in Satélite, in Hooters Satélite. So you're gonna have the opportunity to know an NFL current 53 roster player. This is not a player retired from 20 years ago. It's a prime defensive back who is just gonna take some of his week off to come down to Mexico to give guys a clinic for defensive back. So you can also ask us in any way of Bill's House MX how we can help you to accomplish the registration. There's no problem. We're gonna help everybody who can register to either the camp or to the meet and greet. We're gonna give you more details in a couple of weeks, but we're so excited to have Jamarcus with us in mid-October during the Bills week off. So, Marty, anything you want to add to our invited?
I just wanted to thank you so much. I mean, this is a dream come true, I think, for all of us. And the first thing I learned when I came to Mexico was I could not believe how many NFL fans there are. At my work now, it's kind of like a United Nations. You get to see almost a different flag from every team in the league. But It was so cool that Bill's House MX invited me to join their club. I feel at home, and I love Buffalo and I love Mexico. So this is just a dream come true. And thank you, man, for being with us.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate it. Man, it's I feel like we bridging that gap. We're doing this. We starting a trend to bridge the gap and get, you know, more football in Mexico. And it sounds like it's already a lot, you know, just listening to the conversation, you know, over the past couple of days, and, you know, our talks and trying to get this thing going. I'm super excited, you know, to come down and, you know, have a great time, and I look forward to doing more as we, you know, have this first one and this first week, and I come down, and, you know, I'm sure y'all gonna show up and show out. You know, Bills Mafia always do it. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited to you know, meet people, meet fans, meet the kids. You know, and just have a great time, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And for sure it's going to happen, because I don't know if you noticed, but or you knew about the 44 Mexicans that were in Buffalo for the kickoff against the Ravens. I don't know. It was super crazy. We ended up in NBC, and it was super crazy. And well, we're gonna let you know. You have the first news that we're coming next year for the inauguration game in the new stadium. So we're gonna be definitely we're gonna be there on 2026. So we will keep you in touch, because we would love to hang out with you there, and you know, give you a hand. And we are expecting that maybe we will be celebrating our first Lombardi. So I don't know if that happens, but we're definitely going, and it will be so nice to meet you. So for everyone here in Bills House México, para todos los seguidores de Bills House, este fue nuestro programa especial. Thank you so much, Mark, for being with us, and thank you very much. And we see you too in a couple of minutes, guys, because we're going to switch to Spanish. Thank you, Jamarcus. Have a good night.
Thank you so much.
Good luck on Sunday.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Go Bills. Go Bills.
Go Bears.
All right.